Hey all, we are coming to the end of summer 2023, and in this video I'm going to do a plant highlight for you. I added a Muntingia calabura to my garden this year. So I got this tree from Pete Canaris, Green Dreams Nursery in Florida, as a 3-gallon back in spring. So 6 months later, here it is in a 15-gallon pot, so you can see it's grown quite a lot in the few months that it's been in a container. So this plant has a lot of different names. Some will know it as Jamaican Cherry, cotton candy berry, strawberry tree, Panama Berry. There's also some other names. Rapid pace of growth is not something just unique to me. This is known as being a very fast-growing, evergreen tropical tree. It's actually native to Mexico and really well suited for zones 10 and up. So 9B here is pushing it. And that's because these trees are not tolerant of frost or cold. So I've always veered away from this tree just because of its frost intolerance, but decided to grow it in a container this year because I heard that the fruit was really delicious and prolific and want to try it for myself. Of course, you cannot find this fruit in a store. You'd have to grow it in order to taste it. And grow up to around 30 feet tall or more with equal spread. Coming in closer to the foliage, you can see that the leaves are about 3 to 5 inches long. And you won't be able to tell from the video, but they're actually covered in these tiny hairs, which when you touch the leaves, to me it feels kind of a sticky texture to the leaf. Slight stickiness, and that's just from the hairs on the leaves. So this tree flowers prolifically, and you can see that flower in front. And it actually really resembles a strawberry bloom, which is why the tree is called strawberry tree. You can see a couple of fruits there, so the immature fruits are green, of course, and then this tree is the yellow form of the Panama berry. There's also a red form, so you can see the berry below is matured into that yellow color. Most people say that this reminds them of cotton candy, the berries. I don't get that flavor profile. To me, this berry is very juicy and tastes like a combination of butter and caramel. So while it's quite sweet, it's not like a cane sugar, it's more of a brown sugar or a caramel flavor. Really delicious berry. And super unique. I mean, I don't know of any other fruit tree that provides that kind of flavor combination. So a bit about why I'm growing this in a container. It's really because nearly every person I've heard growing this tree in ground in our 9B climate in the Phoenix area loses it in winter. So my plan with this tree is to bring it into the garage once we hit those close to freezing temperatures, so that it does not die back from the frost. I will have to keep the canopy managed, and I'll also have to remove this from the 15-gallon container at least once a year to root prune, add new soil to rejuvenate the plant. Because at this point, I think it's actually fully rooted, this container, just in the 6 months it's been in there. So another option is to actually plant this in the ground and then just plan on frost protecting it, build a frame. You'll have to lower the canopy to make that practical, but you could do it. So since the fruit is really growing on me, I may next year plant this in the ground in spring and then, frost protect it in winter so it can get better fruit set and some additional shade in the yard. So another benefit to this tree is because it's so fast growing and handles our summer so well, it's an excellent shade tree in summer. So I want to talk to you a little bit about how I'm training this tree, because either way, whether I keep it in a container or I plant it in the ground, I want more of a spreading canopy. So while this tree does naturally form a spreading canopy, I want even more exaggerated, horizontal limbs. So what I've done here is I've actually hung a pool sock on the limb with a rock in it. And that allows that weight to keep this branch going horizontal versus growing vertically. So that's one way I've been training this tree to get more of that widespread framework. Another thing to share is this tree needs a lot of water once it's rooted out. In the heat of the summer, I have to water both morning and evening, and I put down probably 12 gallons of water on this plant each day in our summer. I've been able to back off that a little bit, but this tree drinks a lot of water. And that makes sense because it's such a fast grower. It has to support that huge root system and all of that growth. So just keep that in mind. Another thing to note about this is it will cycle a lot of leaves. You'll notice yellow leaves appearing on your plants. So it's kind of like guava in that because it's growing so much, it is dropping and replenishing leaves a lot. Yellowing leaves, if you see a lot of them on this plant, could be a sign of underwatering. So make sure that you're checking your moisture level on this tree if you do see a lot of yellow leaves. The plant may be telling you that it's thirsty. Anyways, just wanted to share my experience growing this tree with you this year. If you too are growing it and have some observations to share, please put those in the comments. Or if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching and happy gardening.